pointers on that too, maybe. Give you some sample questions, whatever. See how you guys do. It should be like really easy. Just 10 questions, multiple choice, A, B, C, D things. Okay, so any questions or anything? Everyone's good? Happy so far for the most part? Yeah? Not bad, right? All right, like only what, 6 more weeks to go? Tell me before you know it. Yeah, it's like week 2, right? Almost done. So, it'll be perfect. Alrighty, I think we left off on this slide yesterday because we were talking about lipids and how they're less soluble, right? They don't really mix with water very well. We call them hydrophobic. So I think we did this, like the different ones. Show you the picture. Do we do saturated, mono, and poly?
Yep.
You talked about all those?
Yep.
Nice. Okay, so we're further ahead than I thought. Here then, right? We do this. Phospholipids. Okay. Right. All right. Good job. So we're going to pick up with this and then finish up all the chemistry stuff for chapter 2, and then chapter 3 talks about the cell. So we'll finish the chemistry and be good. All right. So we're still talking about lipids. That's one of my. Is it a organic or inorganic compound? Lipids. You remember? Organic, yeah. Make sure you know which ones are organic, which ones are inorganic. That might be a test question, maybe. So the organic ones contain carbon as the primary chain, more complex. Carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, fats, things like that. And inorganic ones are water, acid, bases, things of that nature. So anyway, so a little phospholipid, what's it sound like? Break the word apart. Phospholipid. Lipid sounds like fat. Phospho sounds like phosphate, so it's a fatty phosphate, okay? And it looks like this little guy over here, chemically, and if you draw it the other way, it has a head, and it has these 2 little tails, just like that. Here's my little phosphate up here, and then I have my little tail, my fatty acid tail, see there. So it has a polar head and non-polar tail. That's not really not so exciting, but I do want you to know about how it's a major component of the cell membrane. That's good to know. A phospholipid is the major component of the cell membrane. So we're going to talk about cells today, so it's quite good to know about the cell membrane. All right, so if we draw a regular cell, we said, here's my cell. That's where life begins at the cellular level, and I have my nucleus, and I have all my other goodies in there too. But I'm going to find that I have these little polar heads that make up my cell membrane. So you have to remember this thing is like a 3-dimensional piece, like a giant ball, like a big kickball or a balloon or something. So it's 3-dimensional, so it goes all the way around. So actually I have 2 layers of these, and here's my other second layer. And it makes up my cell membrane. So the heads are on the outside and the inside, and the tails point in between. So it makes up this phospholipid bilayer. There's 2 layers to it. Let's think about that for like 1 second too. So polar head, non-polar tail. You think that might help out with transporting stuff into and out of the cell? Some of this polarity thing? And yeah, it's going to, right? So we're going to see how that might help out or hinder certain things entering or leaving the cell. So we're going to do that in chapter 3. Right now just know that we make the cell membrane by these phospholipids. Alrighty, that's what we have on this one. There's a better picture maybe of my little polar head and non-polar tails. I put them together and I form my cell membrane with that. So they're what looks like chemically, in case you're interested. Yeah, not too exciting. Alrighty, that's it for that one. Steroids. So again, another type of lipid, another type of fat are your steroids. And it says, yeah, found in sex hormones, bile. There's also a structural component of cell membranes. So we have like little chunks of cholesterol and things that are stuck in here. We have, what else is in here? We're going to find a whole bunch of stuff. I need a better pen here. What do you guys think? Let's see. Yeah, we're going to have like little chunks of cholesterol. That's no better, is it? This is the board. Yeah. And we have like peripheral proteins. We have integral proteins. We're going to do all that stuff in chapter 3. But anyway, so I need these steroids to help out with a lot of things. And most importantly probably is those sex hormone ones, right, for us, that we think about. We mentioned the other day that, what are my 2 main sex steroids or hormones? Yeah, estrogen and testosterone. These will give you your secondary sexual characteristics, which means makes you look like a woman or makes you look like a man, depending on which one you have more of, right? So we all know testosterone is for men. That will give you what? Bigger muscles, right? Facial hair, deeper voice, things like that. Estrogen does what for you? Grow boobies. Yeah, you can grow boobies with estrogen, yeah. So, yeah, you have that, and yeah, there's something under it too. No, so yeah, male and female. What happens if you give a female testosterone? They get bigger, right? And then they grow muscle, that whole thing. They get facial hair. What if you give a man testosterone? I mean estrogen. They grow boobies, yeah. So do some women have testosterone and some men have estrogen? You do, right? So it's like a little bit of a mix, but you have both in all of us, but it's not more of one or the other. All right, so anyways, that's my steroid story. And then also we have some vitamins. You may want to know about these too. These are fat-soluble vitamins. Vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and vitamin K. We're going to see those a little bit later on too. So those are fat